Hi friends, welcome back to the CLAT Daily Current Affairs series. My name is Angelic Thakur and I'm back with the latest current affairs. So today we'll be talking about the important current affairs related to Jan 16, 2019. So let's get started. The first question is the IMPEX 2018-19 Army exercise is between India and which of the following nations? Your options are Thailand, Nepal, Myanmar, or Japan. The correct answer is Myanmar. So, the India Myanmar bilateral army exercise is being held in Chandi Mandir, which is also the headquarters of the Western Command. This is the second time this exercise is happening between the two countries, and the aim is to train the Myanmar delegation for participating in the United Nations peacekeeping operations, of which India is one of the largest contributors. So, the United Nations peacekeeping force is employed in areas of armed conflict to maintain or establish peace. This force is employed only when both the parties to a conflict agree to its presence. This force is also referred to as Blue Helmets, and the operations are authorized by the United Nations Security Council. The next question is Section 126 of the Representation of People Act deals with which of the following? Your options are disqualification on conviction of offences, registration of political parties, restrictions on campaigning, or appointment of the returning officer. The correct answer is restrictions on election campaigning. Now, there was a committee headed by the Deputy Election Commissioner, Mr. Umesh Sinha. The composition of the committee included 9 officers from the Election Commission and one nominated member, each from ministries like the Information and Broadcasting Ministry, the Law Ministry, IT Ministry, as well as one nominee each from the National Broadcasters Association and Press Council of India. The aim of this committee was to suggest revisions to Section 126 of the RPA, and they've recently submitted their recommendations, which include the following important points. The first is to ensure that political parties release their manifesto at least 72 hours before the voting ends in the first phase of the polls. The second is election silence that would prohibit any form of poll campaigning in the last 48 hours and would be extended to cover print and social media. A third very important point is that the Election Commission would collaborate with social media platforms and form a mechanism by which the Election Commission can flag content that violates the electoral law. The last is private cable TV channels would be given guidelines for election broadcasts during the poll period by the Election Commission. Now, these recommendations, when implemented, will minimize interference of activities which could influence voters during the silence period of 48 hours and lead to more transparent elections. The next question is the ACER report is released by which of the following? NGO Shiksha, NGO Pratham, NGO Jigyasa, or NGO Parinam? The correct answer is NGO Pratham. ACER report is also known as the Annual Status of Education Report and is released by NGO Pratham. The aim is to measure learning outcomes of school-going children, and this ACER report was based on an annual household survey which covered about 5.46 lakh children in almost 600 rural districts across the country. So the ACER report is a mixed bag. It has some positives but a lot of negatives. And some of the important findings are as follows. The ACER report finds that more than half of the children, which are from class 5, can read a class 2 textbook, which is up from around 47% in 2012. The proportion of children in class 5 who can do simple division sums has also increased from 25% to almost 28%. Reading levels of class 3 have gone up from 19.5% in 2010 and are now about 27.2%. Kerala tops in the class 5 reading levels with about 77.5% of its students being able to read books pertaining to class 3. Government schools in UP and Uttar Pradesh have registered an almost 12% jump in reading skills as compared to a 7.6% increase for private schools. Now, the negative include a wide disparity in learning among states. 60% of UP's class 3 children cannot recognize letters, while in Himachal Pradesh, 70% of the students are appropriate for their grade level, and 25% of children in rural areas they leave class 8 without basic reading skills, while around 56% cannot do a simple division sum. So this report basically gives us a glimpse of the learning outcomes of school going children, and gives us a reality check of how far India really has to go if it wants to reap its demographic dividend. The next question is, which is the world's most dynamic city as per the City Momentum Index of JLL? Your options are Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Kolkata, or Delhi. The correct answer is Bengaluru. So, the City Momentum Index of JLL, it measures 131 of the world's most commercially active cities, and it does so by measuring them over a range of indicators which include social indicators, economic indicators, commercial real estate indicators, and the time period taken is 3 years. Now, as per this index, Bengaluru has emerged as the world's most dynamic city. The second place is occupied by Hyderabad, and other Indian cities in the list are Delhi at the fourth position, Pune at the fifth position, Chennai at 7th, and Kolkata at 20th. Some of the reasons for inclusion of so many Indian cities in the list is due to reforms like Real Estate Regulatory Authority, GST, the focus on infrastructure development, the focus on ease of doing business. All of these have brought in transparency in the real estate sector. Next question is, what is the rank secured by the Indian Institute of Science in the London-based Times Higher Education survey? Options are 13th, 14th, 15th, or 16th. The correct answer is 14th. So the London-based Times Higher Education has released rankings pertaining to emerging economies universities of 2019. The ranking consists of 450 universities taken from 43 countries spanning 4 continents, and the ranking uses 13 performance indicators across 5 categories, which are teaching, research, citations, international outlook, and industry income. So as per these rankings, the Indian Institute of Science has topped the rankings among Indian institutes and has an overall rank of 14th. The second spot is taken by IIT Bombay with 27th rank in the survey. IIT Roorkee has 35th rank, while IIT Indore is placed at 61st position. The next question is, the world's first television channel dedicated to human rights has been launched in which city? Your options are London, New York, Dubai, or Amsterdam. The correct answer is London. Now, this channel has been started by the International Observatory of Human Rights. So this channel would be a web-based channel and would be spread across 20 countries spanning Europe, Latin America, and the Middle East. The language used for now would be English, and the aim would be to deliver all those stories which are ignored by the mainstream media, and would focus on issues like refugees, freedom of press, journalism, extremism, women's rights, LGBT, and so on. Talking a little about the International Observatory of Human Rights, this is an independent non-government organization, and the aim is to defend the dignity of people who've been stripped of their rights, and include journalists, human rights defenders, refugees, and other victims of oppression. The next question is, Mr. Lenin Rajendran, who passed away recently, was associated with which field? Your options are politics, singing, art, or filmmaking. The correct answer is filmmaking. So Mr. Lenin Rajendran, he was a famous Malayalam filmmaker and also the chairman of the Kerala Film Development Corporation. Now Mr. Rajendran was basically known for his unique style of filmmaking and has a lot of critically acclaimed movies under his belt. He recently passed away in Chennai. Next question is, where is the 9th International Conference on Micro-Irrigation being held? Your options are Aurangabad, Pune, Mumbai, or Bikaner. The correct answer is Aurangabad. So, the 9th International Micro-Irrigation Conference was held at Aurangabad with the theme being Micro-Irrigation in Modern Agriculture. So, this conference basically discussed issues pertaining to micro-irrigation and how micro-irrigation as a technique can be used for increasing crop productivity both at the farm level and cluster level. This conference was organized by the Union Ministry of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation, along with the International Commission on Irrigation and Drainage, Indian National Committee on Surface Water, and WAPCOS, which is a private sector enterprise under the Union Ministry. The next question is, who was the first Commander-in-Chief of Indian Army after independence? The options are Sam Manekshaw, K.M. Karyappa, Harbaksh Singh or K.S. Thimaiya. The correct answer is Field Marshal K.M. Karyappa. 15th of Jan was celebrated as the 71st Army Day. This day commemorates the day when Field Marshal K.M. Karyappa took over the command of army from General Sir Butcher, who was the last British commander-in-chief. So, Field Marshal K.M. Karyappa was the first Indian commander-in-chief and is also one of the only two Indians to hold the 5-star rank of Field Marshal, the other one being Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw. So, the Army Day basically remembers the important role played by Indian Army and to salute the sacrifice of the Indian soldiers. And that's all for today. Please leave a comment. Let me know how you like the videos. And I'll be back again with another set of current affairs. Till then, this is me, Angelic Thakur, signing off.